The blues, a genre of music that sprang forth out of the Deep South and associated with artists like B.B. King. But what if hair bands from places like LA, New York, and Philadelphia do the blues? Well, sometimes it actually works. Tonight, we'll discuss some of the good blues songs done by hair metal artists right here in the Hairband Basement.
This is the hair metal theme for the Hairband Basement Show, where I talk about hair metal and stuff and things.
Welcome to the Hairband Basement. I am your host, Basement Brian, and tonight I got some guests. Jay, you've seen numerous times here in the basement. He's got his own ass groove over there on the couch. He's been there more than enough times. And tonight we got Eric from the Hairband
Metal Revolution.
What, say again?
Hair Metal Revolution.
Hair Metal Revolution.
Taking the music back and giving it the respect that it deserves.
Nice. Yeah, you can catch this channel right here on YouTube. Good stuff. And it's because of one of his episodes, one of the more recent episodes we're doing this. You had a reaction to Guru's, what's it called? Roundtable discussion about
Poison Native Tongue.
Yeah, apparently they didn't like it too much, and you took offense to that. We're like, wait a minute.
Oh, I mean, not everybody has good taste, right?
Well,
Yeah.
It's not about I'm taking offense, but I've noticed this trend, like people call themselves rockers, right? And anytime rock mixes with blues, they hate that album.
Hey, you got your chocolate and my peanut butter.
Peanut butter on my chocolate.
What?
Like the same group, they hate Heartbreak Station. It's like anytime you mix a little blues, I don't get that. I don't understand why you want your rock bands to play the exact same album every single time. These people are like us. That music of blues is in the roots. You know? Again, my father, CCR, B.B. King, he's, with Elvis, Leonard Skinner, that music is in the roots. And
I get that. I think what gets me with it, two things. One, I think some of these bands, we'll get to what the show is about in a second, but I feel that some of these bands try to go to the blues to get more credibility from it. Like, it's like, oh, look what we do. And the second thing that gets me is that when you ask these bands who their influences were, it's usually Kiss, Aerosmith, Led Zeppelin, Van Halen, Sabbath, and they never say B.B. King, Eric Clapton. They don't get into that. It was just like,
that's what I mentioned on my channel. It's always the same response, and nothing against the Beatles and Rolling Stones and stuff, but it's just the same type of bands that you always hear that people say. It's like, come on, there's got to be other bands that really influence you, not just typical ones.
Yeah, I remember I was hearing an interview. This is way past my time, way before my time, where when the Beatles came to the States for the first time.
Tell Murray to cut that crap out. Cut that crap out. Hey, Murray.
They were hugely influenced by American blues. They loved it.
Yes.
And it was John Lennon. They asked him, what do you want to do when you're here? And the guy says, I want to see Muddy Waters. And the interviewer was like, oh, where's that? But people had no idea. It was a guy. Like, yeah, this influenced us. So, yeah, after I saw your video on this, I have to comment. And I said, like, hey, there is some good songs out there. I'm not personally,
There really are.
A lot of the blues stuff, I'm like, you got to stay in your lane. But I said, there's a lot of songs out there that the blues do work for these bands, and there are kick-ass songs. And I gave you an invite to come on here, and tonight we're each going to list 5 of our favorite blues, I guess blues and blues influence songs by these bands, because these artists did make some kick-ass music with the blues influence of them. So let's do this. We'll go in this order. So Eric will go first, Jay, and then myself. So Eric, what's your first song here?
What I did was I picked the 5 that I probably listen to the most right now that's very blues influenced. So in no really order, like 5 to 1, I'm just going to put one of my 5, but it could be easily 3 or 2. But I am going to start with number 5, and it is rock, but with a blues intro. But the way David Lee Roth sings it is one of my favorite Van Halen songs, is Take Your Whiskey Home. The intro.
She said she's tired.
And then once they get into the rock, but David Lee Roth still singing with kind of like that blues style.
Yeah.
Take Me Whiskey Home is one of my favorite top 5 Van Halen songs itself, but it's very bluesy if you really listen to it. Just the way Eddie plays, the way the band plays, how David sings it. So right now, that is my number 5.
That's a good pick. I saw your video when you talked about it was a DLR top 5 or just Van
Yeah.
Halen songs and like
Yeah,
3
yeah.
of them.
I did a David Lee Roth and a Sammy Hagar separate one.
Yes, and you had like 3 from Women and Children First, which
I
is
love that album.
my favorite
love
band
it.
by them. Van Halen's my favorite band. That's my favorite album by them. It's
That's
a
my
fantastic
favorite album.
It's a great album. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Totally with you. That's a good pick, actually. That's a really good one. I thought you were going to say something, Jay. Look like you're about to chime in.
I'm kind of in slight amazement. I've never heard 2 people in such a short period of time say that Woman and Children First is their favorite Van Halen album.
It is. I'll say this, though.
Yeah.
Fair Warning is creeping up over the years, has gotten closer. It's a second to me, but it's almost right there. That's such a great album, too. I mean, they're both back to back like that. Fantastic albums. That's if I can get a time machine, I go back in time and see them on the Fair Warning tour. That's what I would go do.
That'd be perfect.
Yeah, that's a good, perfect time to see them. Great stuff. Yeah, before that terrible Diver Down album, the covers album.
Thank you. Thank you.
It wasn't meant to be. Like they threw it together because the Warner Brothers made them do it.
Yeah, Diver Down was the first Roth era album I heard. And,
I can do it.
And
I
I'm
like
like,
Sammy more.
I don't understand why people love this era so much. Well, then obviously I heard the rest, and the case was self-explanatory. But on
People
first
like remakes.
I guess, yeah, because they had Pretty Woman out. The record company was like, "You got to put out a whole album. We don't want to kill this momentum. Put something out there." And then there's some decent songs on it, but yeah, most of it's all just covers. It's all covers.
That's why Eddie made 5150, because he was tired of being considered like a cover band. That album, he made him feel like a cover band. So he made 5150 so they could stay out of his business.
Yeah. Yep.
So some good things came out because of Diver Down. 5150.
Yes, that's true. That is true. That is true. All right, Jay, what's your first blues/blues influence hair metal song?
I'm a huge fan of Lynch Mob. George Lynch is a very blues-based player. Now, this probably flew under the radar of a lot of people, but they put out an album called Sound Mountain Sessions. It's just a few tracks, EP. I want to say it was around 2012, 13. But the lead-off track off that is called Slow Drag, and that is a killer fucking blues hard rock tune.
I have to listen to this.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It is just, it could have, it's more bluesy than stuff that was on Wicked Sensation.
Yeah, okay.
But, I mean, Oni was a singer on it. Yeah, George. Robbie Crane was the bass player.
Bassist, all right.
I think Scott Coogan may have been the drummer at that point.
Interesting.
I saw him live back then in Omaha, and they played that song. Fucking Christ.
Take another slow drag. Living on a slow drag.
I mean, Lynch scorches on everything he does.
Yeah.
But yeah, if for anybody that hasn't checked out that EP, I highly recommend it. It's solid as fuck, and that song is just incredible.
I remember the EP, but I can't remember the exact songs on it. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that EP. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, Wicked Sensation is one of my all-time favorite albums. That thing kills.
That's one of my Desert Island albums.
Yeah,
we've talked about that. And at first, I was gonna take Rain off of Wicked Sensation.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking, that's a great blues-based tune, but I know what's better. And Slow Drag would be that song.
I thought you were going to take something off Wicked Sensation, Rain being one of the possibilities.
If we do an honorables, there's a few.
Oh, we'll have honorables. Oh, I got a list of honorables. Could probably do another show with my honorables.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I know I could.
All right, mine is from an album that you already mentioned, Eric. I'm not a fan of it. They went too bluesy on this one, but it's from Cinderella's Heartbreak Station. but hands down is my favorite song off of it. Love Gone Bad.
That's a great song.
That is such a good tune. I love the groove in that tune and the way they change the song at the end. I'm always a sucker for a song that changes like that, and then that gets even more bluesier than the first part of the song. But yeah, that is such a killer tune. I wish I that could have been on Long Cold Winter. I think that would have fit better there, but I just wish more of the album was like that, not over the top with the blues. But that's just my opinion.
No,
Well,
that's
not a bad opinion to have. I mean, everybody, the first thing they heard off of that was "Shelter Me," and
Hmm.
I mean, that didn't exactly set the tone. And you get the album, or if you got the album, and you start listening, and yeah, they pushed it that much too far and never recovered.
Yeah, which see, and you said this on your show, I believe, Eric, where it's like, yeah, or you even said it here too, where you can't have the same thing over and over, but you also can't shift it over so much where you're like, this isn't what I got this for, kind of thing, you know? And I remember getting that when it came out because I loved the first two albums, and Cinderella had a new album coming out. I'm like, oh hell yeah, I'm getting this. And you're just like, this isn't Cinderella. What is this? This is just too. You guys from Philadelphia, not from the Bayou in Louisiana. It's got the shit shake me somewhere, or Gypsy Road or something. Because I thought there was a good balance with the blues on their second album, Long Cold Winter. I think they went too far, and they kind of toned it back for Still Climbing. But that tune, I'll raise the volume on that tune. I still like that one.
I get that. I mean, you could have a whole show conversation just on Cinderella itself. Because one of my top five songs is a Cinderella song. Not that one. It was a toss up, dude. It was really a toss up from the Long Cold Winter album to Heartbreak Station. I went with a song off of Long Cold Winter. The name title itself, Long Cold Winter. I
Hmm.
A lot of people, I know a lot of rockers hate that song because it's way too bluesy. But you gotta understand, I grew up. We go to the mountains. I lived in California at the time, Fresno, California. We go to the mountains every year, the Yosemite National Mountains. And one year, snow just came out of everywhere. I mean, we were in the middle of a storm up in the mountains, and I remember playing that song "Long Cold Winter" and looking at the actual snow all around me. So one of the reasons why I love it so much because I can remember as a kid, right up there seeing the snow, listening to the song, and the guitar riff of that. Because people don't understand, Tom Kiefer is the lead guitar too of the band. I know
Yeah.
Jeff LaBar plays guitar, but Tom Kiefer was the actual lead guitar. The way he sang that song, it was just so beautiful.
Gonna be a long, cold winter.
It was a toss up because on Heartbreak Station, this song is almost an impossible song for them to sing live. But there's a song on Heartbreak Station that I love so much, and I challenge everybody at nighttime, turn off the lights, put the headphones on, listen to Dead Man's Road.
I'd help you to carry life slow. They could all pass you by down on Dead Man's Road.
Oh my
Okay.
God. Hearing the rain, then hearing how he sings soft and hard, and there's parts of the song where he puts both in. That's why it's a hard song to sing live because he's singing soft and hard at some parts. That song, Dead Man Road, is almost like a story. I'm telling you, challenge it at nighttime, midnight. Turn all the lights off. Listen to Dead Man's Road. But for this five, I am going with Long Cold Winter.
See, that's my least favorite song
I
off the
know, I know, it's a
album.
lot of people. I know, but
Hey, like I always say in the comments and on this channel, music's in the ear of the beholder. I mean, you're not gonna love everything, you're not gonna hate on everything. So I get it. If you like it, that's fine. I don't no issues. Me, I would. That's the one song I would
I
skip.
know.
That's just that's like I'm rocking. Now wait, what?
I think
Wait,
for me, because
blues?
it's the memory thing as a kid,
I
being in the
get that.
snow in
Yeah,
the mountains, being hunting, and just remember the album cover, them sitting in the snow, and it's just a lot of memories for me
I
listening to
get
that
that. No, I
song.
get that. Of course, there's songs you attach to a memory or something that you experienced. Yeah, I completely understand that. I mean, I skip it. That's just me, though. All right, Jay, what's your next one?
I figured we'd all have Cinderella, and I'm gonna just continue with that. With my Cinderella pick, of Long Cold Winter, the opening track, Bad Seamstress Blues, Falling Apart at the Seams, does not get better than that to start off an album, in my opinion.
The best intro ever to a song. I said that before.
That fucking slide guitar.
Oh,
it's just
the harmonica.
Yeah, then that fucking single bass drum hit.
My favorite Cinderella song.
And it's just a fucking incredible song. Cinderella's a great fucking band. And
see, Jay, I was thinking about that song, but I'm wondering if people will say, yeah, but after that intro, it's way too rock. But I get what you're saying. That intro's one of the best intros ever.
You could break those apart into two separate songs if you wanted to.
It is on the label.
It is two titles. It is two titles. Yeah.
Really, in my opinion, you listen to one, you listen to both. You don't.
Yeah.
I've always viewed it as one song, kind of like Midnight Tornado.
It is one song. It really is.
One without the other doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this. I have it on my list too. I had it higher up, but Cinderella had 2 songs on my list because there was no way I wasn't including that song. Because when we had this idea, the first song I thought about was "Love Gone Bad," but then I'm like, "There's no way I'm not gonna have Bad Seamstress Blues falling apart at the seams." And blues is in the goddamn title, for God's sakes.
I know.
Exactly. And easily my favorite Cinderella song. It's an amazing tune. It's fantastic the way it starts off with the slide guitar and goes right into, like you said, Eric, a more rocking song. But I remember putting that in when I got it, going, "What is this? Where are they going with this?" And then once he goes, "All right, let's go, boys," and it kicks in, you're like, "Oh, fuck yeah."
Let's go, boys.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and the rest of that album is just the one song, the title track, but the rest of that album is amazing.
Well, not a lot of singers could do that double voice like he does.
You're right.
Soft and scratchy, and how he combines it. I mean, it's amazing. It really is.
He lost his voice doing it.
Yes, he did.
He couldn't do it.
How long was he out? Do you remember?
Years.
Wasn't it?
It was years. That's why. When
several surgeries. I mean, I know the whole story. I mean, Jeff LaBar sat with him in a room for a whole year just to rebuild on how to sing again. It's a amazing story. It really is a Disney story in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be singing.
When did Still Climbing come out? 95?
95, yeah.
So there you go. It's 5 years between albums, and like you said, he's recuperating. They thought he wasn't going to sing again. He thought he was done with music. But thankfully he pulled through. All right, yeah, so that was my next one. So back to you, Eric.
All right. Now, I am going to pick a song off that Native Tongue album that nobody really liked, but it's not the ballads. I love those ballads. It's a song that probably going to, really, that one? But I can't tell you why. But I love the song Ride, Child, Ride. Just because when you listen to Bret Michaels sing, look what the cat dragged in, he sings a little faster. Nothing but a good time, a little faster. But when you listen to Ride, Child, Ride, that riff, and then how he sings like mellow, not fast speed, in a perfect speed, and you get in that car, you got the sunlight, the sunlight out there. Ride, child, ride. Ride, child, ride. It just does something for me. I think that song is just perfect, the way the riffs are and how Bret Michaels sings it. You can hear the maturity of his voice, mixing it with the blues. I mean, everybody says Native Tongue went way blues, but people forget. What about Good Love off Open Up and Say, oh, what about Poor Boy Blues off of, he had the blues in him. I mean, Every Rose country, right? It has country elements. So Native Tongue is not different as different people say. Listen, we all love CeCe DeVille. We love him. But the truth is, he wasn't in the band. What are they going to do? They got Richie. They figured out what makes him, and they used it. And I think with that song, it was a perfect blend of the whole band. And also, Ricky Rocket. Of all the albums he did, I think his best drum work is on Native Tongue.
I think I might have to agree with you on that. I agree with you
Just
on that.
yeah, just take away the voices, take away the guitar, listen to the drums. I mean, he really put an extra effort on that album. That's just my opinion. So ride, child, ride.
Yeah, I
That
love Native Tongue. I mean, is it traditional Poison? Of course it's not,
No,
because
it's
No.
not.
it's CC DeVille and we have Richie Kotzen. But if you look at it from an objective standpoint, you can easily make a case that it is their best album.
They had the riffs. They have the commercial kind of songs on there. They had everything. It's just the
Yeah,
guitar.
it didn't
was a little
have that
different.
buzz saw guitar tone that CC DeVille had. I mean, it's the same way with Motley Crue, right?
I was thinking
When
that.
Vince Neil was not in the band, if you took a couple of them songs off of the 94 album, Poison Apples comes to mind. You put Vince Neil on it, you got a hit. You have John Corabi on it, you do not have it.
Mhm.
So, same principle applies. You put CC on Ride Child Ride or Body Talk, a couple other songs off Native
Seven
Tongue,
Days Over
you got hits.
You got hits. Yep.
But do you think they would have had the same album if CC was still in the band?
No way.
Yeah, that's
Really?
what I'm thinking.
Because
No.
a lot of those songs, from my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, were ideas that Richie and Brett came up with
Yeah.
together. So
Yeah.
you take Richie away from it and you don't have that other element that created the songs in the first place.
It would have
There
been a
you
lot
go,
less
yeah.
bluesy for sure.
That's what I. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think
Oh,
you
yeah.
would have gotten a continuation of the same sound you had from the first three albums.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't think there'd been much of a difference there. But then again, in '93, I don't know if a CC Poison album would have done any better than a Richie Kotzen Poison album.
No, that every
No.
band was hurt. Not
Yeah.
people always think hair metal got hurt the worst. No, all rock bands got hurt. Everybody's sales dropped. Not just hair metal. Every rock group got hurt during that 90s era.
Yeah, you're right.
Unless you were, a few exceptions to the case, and then you weren't rock either, but you were heavier, Pantera,
Yeah.
or somebody like that. They were.
I mean,
Yeah.
Van Halen did
flying
well,
louder.
but
yeah,
like you said,
anybody that
those
was
rare.
straight up rock,
Yeah.
they were screwed.
Yeah, you're right. You had bands, obviously Metallica with their Black Album, Megadeth with not Euthanasia,
Alice in Chains.
Countdown Extinction, Alice in Chains, though they got lumped in with the grunge guys.
Right.
But yeah, there were a couple of bands that were able to hit some success at the time. But you're right, it was a lot of bands that took the hit. A lot of bands.
A lot of bands.
Yeah. All right, Jay, what's your next one? Oh, this is
I'm on the same album, but I'm closing it out. Bastard Son of a Thousand Blues.
Mm.
And that's
Like a poor boy blue style. I love that song.
Leonard Skinner was mentioned. Well, you have Billy Powell playing piano on that song. And I mean, it's just that fucking bluesy swing.
I'm the bastard son of a thousand blues.
It's infectious. I love the song. And it was a, good end to that album, end of that era of the band.
Mm-hmm. See, I don't know. I struggle getting into that album. I'm gonna have to give another listen, but it's like I'm when I listen to Poison, I'm looking for nothing but a good time kind of songs. That's what Poison was about up to that point. I'm not saying it's a bad album. It's just not the album I put on wanting to hear Poison. You know what I'm saying? That's just me.
That's
I get it.
completely understandable.
Yeah,
You know,
that's like me
with a-
going to McDonald's and they're serving pizza. I'm not going to fucking McDonald's for pizza. I go to pizza place for pizza.
Right.
But
I
I
mean,
get it. People love
An
that.
album like that from a band that had a lineup change and then did something a little bit experimental with their sound.
Yeah.
The best advice I could give anybody listening to something like that is go into it with an open mind. If you go into it with a preconceived notion, hey, I'm going to listen to a Poison album I haven't heard before, and you put that on, you're going to be disappointed.
I
but
think
if you-
that's
If you
the
go into it
issue.
and just, try to appreciate what they did, you usually come up with a different story.
Yeah, and I think that's the issue though. Like that album and Crew 94, you have an expectation because they have a repertoire already of albums the last few years. So it's like, how do you not have that expectation?
Right.
Maybe now, years
at
later.
the time, it would be very hard
Yeah.
to do.
That's the
going
thing.
back on it, not so much, or somebody who hasn't heard it and giving it its first spin, you know.
Yeah, so 'cause that's the thing. I'm wondering maybe if they, I don't know, rebranded the band or renamed the band or something. Maybe I don't know if that would have helped, but going in, yeah, again,
Same thing I said about Motley Crue before.
They
Should have
did
they
sell,
changed their name without Vince Neil? That's debatable. That
but they
album
did
is
sell
a
over half a million
fucking great
copies during that
album.
time. That wasn't
that's
bad when
respectable.
bands
You're
were
right.
dying. They still sold a half a million copies when other bands couldn't even sell 100,000 copies during the
But I
90s.
think part of that is because the Poison name is on it. I'm sure there's
Well,
people that heard, oh, wait,
Toughest and
Richie
Fire and
Kotzen.
Ice and Stand both hit on radio.
That's true
So
too.
that did help the cause.
But I also think that a lot of people bought it because A, it's a Poison album, and B, they got Kotzen on now. They want to check it out. I mean, I don't know. I can't sit here and say one way would have worked or another. It is what
Right.
it is. I can't change that. But I wouldn't be surprised people saw, oh, new Poison out, let me check it out. And they were
True.
like, oh, this
Oh,
isn't
yeah.
what I'm used to. But you bought it. At that point, you bought it, whether you like it or not, it already goes down as a purchase. You can't do anything about it. All right, my next one. My list is all messed up because I got rid of one. I had on my honorables. I got a couple other songs by this band. I mean, coming out of Memphis, of course, they're gonna be influenced by the blues. I went with one by Tora Tora off Wild America, Dead Man's Hand.
Good
Fucking
one.
great
I
tune.
didn't even think about that one.
Oh, I almost replaced it with Walking Shoes because of the beginning, but it kind of picks up more rocking. This one's got a swinging piano in it and just horns and all they go all out with it. I mean, that band should have been bigger, and they didn't put anything out bad. And yeah, you clearly hear their blues influence on this one, obviously. But yeah, that's my next one.
Great
Fantastic
fucking
album.
great song, great album.
Great band.
Oh,
Great
No,
yeah.
Tora
band.
Tora kind of reminds me, like this song's not on my top five, but it's in my honorable mention. Like Salty Dog, the song Come Along, that has that.
Hmm.
It kind of reminded me of them. They had like a little blues influence into the
Yeah.
song. I have like number 12 on my list, but but they're up there. But so we got two songs left. Now, this one is AC/DC with Bon Scott. Now I don't know if we have rules where it has to be exact in the 80s, because this song wasn't
Yeah.
exactly in the 80s, but the song I'm talking about, get in your car at night, listen to Right On. Oh my God, the way the guitar riffs nice and slow and the background vocals, right on, right on. I know it sounds silly, but that song, Right On, it just does something for me. When I listen, when I'm driving in that car and that's, and hearing Right On and Bon Scott's voice. It's one
Yeah.
of the most beautiful bluesy type of songs. Not fast. It's not super energetic. It's mellow, but just the way they sing it in the background, singing the parts right on, it just hits me in a certain way. So that's my second to my last song, Right On.
Nice. Nice. That's a good one. That's the thing I got to say about the blues. It's truly an American, style of music,
It is. It really is.
but it's influenced people all over the place. Like, yeah, like I said, the Beatles before, AC/DC, Zeppelin. I mean, literally ripped off people with their with their stuff. But yeah, it's like you don't get that anywhere else in the world. But so many people were into it and got influenced by it.
And it can be fast, it can be slow. I mean, the
Yes.
blues is just that's why but I said this before coming on here. There's no way all five of us could have the exact same five blues songs, because there's just too many different ways you influence the songs that you like.
Yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
almost
Exactly.
impossible.
Yeah. All right, Jay. What's your next one?
A band that is not thought of having anything of a blues nature is Firehouse. But alas, on their debut album, the song Don't Walk Away, buried
That's
on
a
the
great
top,
one.
it is a fucking great song, and it is extremely bluesy.
Yes, it is.
I didn't even think about that. That's a good choice.
Yeah, I mean, they just don't. I mean, you don't hear blues and Firehouse in the same fucking sentence. You just don't. But for anybody who's bothered to skip that over and go straight to Love of a Lifetime a couple tracks later, I implore you take a listen. Second song, second side, you'll thank me for it.
That's a good tune. I forgot about that one too. Yeah, you're right. Not for nothing, the one I will skip on that album is Love of a Lifetime. I
I mean,
can't do
I
it.
can get that, and I love the song, but it has been overplayed.
I never got into it back in the day. Like, there's a few
Oh,
ballads where I'm like, it doesn't work for me.
I
Can't
like
do it.
Bill's guitar playing on it.
I get that.
Real cool acoustic part. So
Yeah, no, I get that. I get that. All right, my next one, like you were saying, you don't know if we can have something from the 70s. This band was a blues rock based, I'm sorry, blues influenced rock band starting in 78 all the way up until 84. Well, even 84 they were on the one version of the album. I had to pick something from Whitesnake in their early days. I picked from their, well, at the time it was an EP, Snakebite, and the lead off track from that, Come On. It's a slow, grinding blues influenced tune, but the live version off Live in the Heart of the City, they speed it up, and it is absolutely killer.
So come on. Come on.
It is such a great way to start off a show. But yeah, I could have picked anything from Whitesnake's early years.
Well,
and
they're a blues band before
Yeah.
they came out with that South title that went. They took some of the songs off of those old ones and redid it to rock.
yes.
But they
Yeah.
were an influenced Deep Purple band, you know.
Mhm.
I mean,
Because they,
there's not a bad
you
choice.
can't call anything that David Coverdale has done anything other than blues. I mean, it's just that voice. This is impossible.
Remember, he
Exactly.
didn't want to do it. Here I Go Again as a rock version. He liked his blues version.
Yeah.
Remember? And of course, it came. They're like #1 song.
yeah,
But-
yeah.
But you know, it's just the way it works.
Because that was the thing. They originally recorded, slided in with a lot of the original members, and that you could hear the more blues influence on it. They re-recorded it with Sykes to give it more of a flavor
rock
Americans would like. Yeah, more
Yeah.
rockin'.
It worked.
It worked. It definitely worked, and you're right because there's two songs off of this self-titled and "Fool for Your Lovin'" from "Slip of the Tongue" were all old Whitesnake tunes.
Yeah.
I almost had the original "Fool for Your Lovin'" on this part of my list, but that live version of "Come On" is just so fucking high energy and killer, where I will fucking raise the volume on that thing in the car every time. Such a great version of it, but yeah, the original. Way more blues, like you said. They were a heavily influenced blues band in their beginning. All right, Eric, what's your
Okay.
number
Now,
one? Right?
when you think of this is the last one. Now, when you think of blues and a rock combined, there's no other band that doesn't do better than, of course, ZZ Top. ZZ Top. Now, I didn't know we were gonna do if the rules were just 80s, because for the 70s, Lagrange, right?
Mhm.
Now, if it was 80s, I was gonna put Sharp Dressed Man. But ZZ Top, Lagrange, I mean, just the beginning of that song is just pure blues rock.
Yeah.
I mean, ZZ Top is the master of how they kind of like AC/DC, how they mix rock and blues together. I mean, Lagrange. I mean, I don't know what person does not like that song. I mean, it's just. And of course, if it was 80s, I would have put Sharp Dressed Man because that's more rock than
Yeah.
Lagrange. But I mean, ZZ Top did it perfectly, mixing it together. I mean, I don't know what
Yeah.
other band did it more perfectly than ZZ Top. I love Cinderella, I love them all, but ZZ Top, I don't know what it is. They just know how to influence two together so perfectly. So Lagrange is my number
I call
one.
it the Texas influence. I mean,
Oh yeah.
weird things happen in the state of Texas musically.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Stuff that melds that you're just not going to get anywhere else. ZZ Top, Dangerous Toys, Pantera.
Pantera. Yep.
I
yep.
mean, I don't know if it's the fucking water, if it's tequila coming across the border, if it's some mojo coming from next door in Louisiana.
It's the
whatever
insane
the
heat
fuck
and the
it is.
tornadoes.
Yeah.
And the Cowboys sucking. That's another one too. But yeah, ZZ Top, yeah, definitely. If you want to talk about a blues-based fucking rock band, yeah, ZZ Top is right there. Like,
Yep.
come on. All right, Jay, what's your last one?
Well, the first band I think of when it is blues based hard rock is Great White. Old Rose Motel.
Ooh, okay. I totally forgot about Great White. Holy crap. They
I
always
got
thought it was
Great
blues.
White on my top 10 list with, Save Your Love. So I know exactly what you're talking about, Jay. Great White. It was hard for me. Like, how can I do a top five without putting Great White in there?
Hmm.
But I had to be honest with myself. But Great White is a perfect choice. Rock on. I mean, Rock Me. I mean,
Yeah.
Mhm. I mean, Jack Russell's voice
oh,
just
and you
is.
sing it live, real. I mean, it's real.
Mhm. I mean, he
Yeah,
would.
R.I.P.
Their songwriting also, it just everything worked so well if they stayed in that bluesy terrain. But you go back to the first couple records when they were, metal, if you wanted to
Yeah.
actually call it that. I mean, you can still hear those a little bit of a blues tinge back then, but they embraced it more as time went on.
Yes.
Yes, they did. And
And,
they made it their sound too. They came up with their own sound where there was
right.
more
Yes, they
And
did.
blues in it. Yeah.
when you got to Psycho City or Sail Away or any of those albums, you were getting straight up fucking blues.
Yeah. Like I was thinking House of Broken Love. That is a straight up blues song. Yeah, they
That
just
that was like my coin flip was
yeah, okay. All
that
right.
versus Old Rose Motel.
But you're right that when the first couple albums, they're straight up metal albums.
Mhm.
They have that distinct early 80s metal sound that you heard from a lot of bands at that time. And then yeah, as time went on, they put more blues into their stuff and yeah, made some decent stuff. Totally.
Hmm.
Right.
All right, my last one, and this is a band I thought you were going to before you said ZZ Top, Eric. I thought you were going to mention this band. I have mentioned this album so many times. Me and Jason Reed are going to take a road trip listening to nothing but it. And I got it right back here. And I looked at Badlands' debut and I'm like, which one do I pick? And I think my favorite song off of it is Hard Driver. Fucking killer tune. And Jakey Lee just said, you know what? I'm gonna kick ass and add a heavy dose of blues to my playing. And every song off that album is fucking killer. But that one with the drums kicking in. And just it's so good. It's just
Well, you
so
heard me in the
goddamn good.
beginning. I mentioned Badlands, but I mentioned the song Whiskey Dust.
Yeah, yeah.
Great blues song. I mean, you're right. It's
Amazing band, just an amazing band. And he's like the debut is one of my all-time favorite albums of all time. It's just I pop that thing in and just let it go. It's just so killer. All three of their albums are great, but there was no way I was putting a influenced list together and not having Badlands on it. That would have
I
been
knew
crazy.
Badlands
I
was
knew it
going
was
to be
hard. It
your
was
number
hard.
one. I just didn't know which song it was going to be, brother.
Could have been anyone, any song would have worked. I
I know.
almost
I
thought.
put Badlands number 7 on my list.
Oh, okay.
It's
Because
just
I
like
was thinking, oh crap, what was the first single off Voodoo Highway? Last time. I almost put that one on. That's a great tune too. Wild Horses from that album is great. There's just so many songs that would have worked, but it's a fantastic album. I mean, I've talked about it numerous times. I mean, it's not, if you ever watch the channel, it's not unknown how much I love that album. All right, what about some honorables, Eric? What do you got?
well, it's you don't think of Warrant as like a blues band, but listen to the intro to Uncle Tom's Cabin.
Hmm.
You got the banjo, and then where he starts singing, and then it kicks in the rock, kind of like Cinderella, Blue Simmons' Blues,
Yeah.
falling apart for the seams. So Warrant. Now this song is a remake. I don't like to put remakes on this, but when Tesla did Little Susie, the original Little Susie was not as bluesy as what
No.
Tesla made it to.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's another great one. Again, I had on my list. I had Great White with "Save Your Love," deep blues song. You know, like I said, White Line, the song called Blue Monday, there's no
Hmm.
singing on it, but the way Vito just played it, you know, I had like Come Along, a Salty Dog on my list.
Uh-huh.
You know, you could pick anyone. And now, listen, what about Rat? Way Cool Jr., that little, you know,
Mhm.
I don't know if someone want to call that bluesy, but it had a saxophone that came out with that song
Uh-huh.
on it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, that's a
No.
lot of blues influence there.
Totally.
And
Totally.
even when Stevens Piercy went with Arcade, Nothing to Lose with the bass, you could say it's a little bluesy. And of course, on that
I
album,
hear
they
you.
had Mother Blues on the Arcade album,
Yes.
a little bluesy. So they're just honorable mention. But like you said, any song for Badlands, you could pick almost any single one. I feel so bad. I didn't put them in the top five, but I said my top five are the five songs I listen to the most at the moment.
Yeah,
But
that's fine.
but they're all great. I can't
Yeah.
wait to hear what Jay's gonna say on his.
What you got for your honorables, Jay?
I can slide in by White Snake, the more, bluesier take
Yeah.
of it.
The Mickey Moody version.
At 7 o'clock by the Choir Boys.
Oh, that's a good pick.
Oh,
There's a few. I forgot. There's a few
Uh,
off of them.
I had Walking Shoes by Tora Tora.
Hmm.
I had Rain by Lynch Mob. I had Losing Your Mind by Pride and Glory.
Wow. Okay.
That fucking
Yeah.
banjo, if nothing else, man. I mean, it's bluesy as shit. Um, Tesla was kind of mentioned. Frank Hannon had a band called Moondog Maine in the late 90s. They had a song
Mm.
called Turn It Up. That's on my honorables. Bad Obsession by Guns N' Roses. Crying Shame by Cold Sweat.
I had that in my honorables. A
Um,
good one.
Slice of Your Pie by Motley Crue.
Okay.
Nick Mars made no bones about his heroes were blues players.
Yeah, that's true.
Jeff Beck, the list goes on and on. And that song is a pretty good nod to it. I mean, I would take Bittersweet, which is off that EP they did with the 94 album. It's just an instrumental track, but it is
Mhm.
pure blues.
Nice. Oh, nice.
but
All right.
man, I love that he brought up the Choir Boys, man. I forgot about the Choir Boys. Hey
Yeah.
You,
What's the
Sweet
one?
Marianne. I mean, those songs are
Yeah. I mean, if you want to go hair metal adjacent, I'll say anything by the Black Crows. The first two albums are fantastic. I mean, a lot of
You
the
know what?
music's fantastic.
Black
but
Crows and Brother Kane both were
that,
right.
yes, Brother Kane's another one too. Yep. Yep.
I didn't
mean,
put anything for the Black Crows,
they're
but I
right
thought it'd
there.
be too easy. I thought everybody, oh, Black Crows, come
That's
on,
what I
everybody's gonna
kind of
say
figured.
that.
I'm like,
Yeah,
how?
I'm serious. I'm like, I can't do Black Crows. Everybody's gonna say it's too easy.
Yeah, I was like, is it really hair metal-y kind of thing? But
Exactly.
all right, let me go through my honorables here. Shake My Tree from Coverdale Page. Like, come on, like oof. That's just so obvious that they went bluesy. I used, like you said, Jay had Crying Shame from Cold Sweat. I had a couple other ones from Tora Tora, Hard Times and Walking Shoes in their debut. What Love Can Be by Kingdom Come. Get It While It's Hot by Shake City. Let It Slide by Hurricane. Sweet Little Vicky from Tattoo Rodeo. They got a lot of songs off of that album that would have fit this. Same with his next band, Tangier. I went with Mississippi from Four Winds. And basically anything else from Whitesnake before Sykes joined the band. It's that was their thing. That was just their thing. So they could have put anything there. But yeah, there it is. There's our
Yep.
top five blues influenced hair metal songs.
I want to give you one more band that I don't think a lot of people would think them credit. I have to bring this band up. Go to Faster Pussycat, Wake Me When It's Over. Go to side two. Go to start with the song of Crying Shame, Tattoo, Ain't No Way Around It, Arizona Indian Doll. Those songs, please, those songs are bluesy.
Yeah.
If you listen to that second half of that Faster Pussycat album, there's a really good blues on that album. I don't think Faster Pussycat gets credit at all for mixing some blues on that second album.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Yeah, totally. Totally. All right. So
I
that
won't
like I
interrupt no
said,
more, I promise.
we got any more? I want to go through your list real quick. In case you got anything else. All right, why don't you tell the good folks where they can find you at, Eric? Get the plugs in.
Hair Metal Revolution. Actually got a live show coming up. I do most of my live shows on Tuesdays and Friday, but things kind of got changed. You know, I decided to do your show, and then I'm doing a live show this Wednesday with Flipping Box that you know the story. His wife got sick, so we didn't do it, but we're gonna complete that show tomorrow. Well, actually, whenever somebody watches this, it's already happened. So
That's true. Yeah, this
so,
ain't gonna be out by tomorrow.
I like doing live shows. I feel like for me, pre-record is too much work for me. I'd rather just hit record live, done, I'm out.
I get it. I hear
It's
you.
more simpler. So I give a lot of credit because I know there's a lot of work when you pre-cut videos and all that. But
Yes.
Tuesdays and Fridays, I usually do live shows on my channel.
All right, cool. Yeah, definitely check him out. He's got a great channel over there. And one of the guys here that on this platform that are keeping this music alive, keeping it out there. All right, Jay, why don't you tell the good folks they can find you at?
Find me on Instagram, find me on Facebook, find me on X, find my band Sweet Damage on Instagram and Facebook. Find me over in my corner of the couch. By the way, can we get an upgrade? Because that fucking spring's starting to hurt my ass a little bit.
Yeah, because you're fat ass asshole. What are you...
Come on. Let me just take
Careful.
Jesus, Christian.
I don't sit in your nasty groove part of the couch you're talking about. I stay away from that side of the couch.
Oh, Jay, you don't have a YouTube channel?
Actually, no, I don't. I have fucking. Obviously, I have my preference of this basement being home sweet home. You know, I've done a few other channels, and some are good, some are defunct, and some can go fuck themselves. So,
well, both of you are gonna have to come on my channol.
Hell yeah!
It'd be a
Hell
pleasure,
yeah.
man. It'd be a pleasure.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let me go through my shit. Catch me on X, follow me on Twitter at HB Basement. Always talking music there, and download the Stationhead app every Friday night, 8:30 Eastern. I play deep hair metal tracks, so definitely check that out. And let me go through my usual YouTube stuff. You guys got some blues hair metal songs? Put them down there in the comments. I don't know where the fuck the comments are. I'm standing over here, so I always point the wrong way. But yeah, put
Let's
those
do
down
this.
there. Yeah, it's somewhere. Yeah, it's somewhere around here. Put that in there. You know, like, subscribe, share, ring the bell, or go to hell. And until the next time, keep your hair high and your metal horns even higher. Take care.
Brian, what the hell are you talking about? I don't know, really.